Welcome to day 2 of my D-Day experience, my D-Day trip that I did in October 2025. Day 2 consisted of the British and Canadian sectors, so Sword, Gold and Juno beaches, and obviously Pegasus Bridge. And I think we do that in that sort of order as well. We start off at Pegasus Bridge and then work our way up through the beaches, some places inland as well. Hope you enjoy.
You had, or you will have the point again, but it's always interesting to comment on what's the objective of the day, on the 6th of June, because we always comment on the military actions, but we don't quite look at the big picture of it there. So probably you know it already, that we have 5 landing sectors, 2 dedicated to the American forces over there, Omaha and Utah, 3 to the British and Canadian forces, Sword, Juno and Gold. Objective of the day, we are not too ambitious. Why we are still being ambitious? We need to establish a strong beachhead at the end of the day there, connecting all the beaches together. This is the main objective, so that we leave no gaps in between there and the dispositive.
So this is Pegasus Bridge Memorial. That was Major John Howard, or a bust of Major John Howard. This is where, on the night of the 5th of June, the night of D-Day, just before midnight, the Ox and Bucks British Light Infantry unit set off in 6 Horsa gliders with the aim to catch a Pegasus Bridge, which was a major thoroughfare over the River Orne in Normandy. So it's the first battle, or the first objective of D-Day. As we said, led by Major Ron Howard, and actually the first casualty of D-Day was Sergeant Dan Brotheridge, who got cut down by fire on the bridge. But yeah, didn't go perfectly, but went as pretty good as they thought it could have done. It was a bit of a miracle, actually, the way that it unfolded. The bridge there, you can see, isn't the original Pegasus Bridge. The original Pegasus Bridge is in the museum, and you'll see me walking over that shortly in this video. Actually, didn't think so leading up to my tour, but when I did it, I thought, actually, this is the highlight of my tour, and I think walking across the original Pegasus Bridge was probably the highlight of my tour. I suppose being the British sector, being the first objective, actually walking across the bridge that the guys bled for, the guys died for, and if it hadn't have gone the way it had gone, then things were going to play out quite as they did. Sorry. Is it still the same family that owned the Café Gondry?
Yeah. Still Miss Gondry, who is running the place there. She was 4 years old when the bridge was liberated. She was in the attic when it happened.
Right.
It's in Memorial. If you want to visit that. Before the bridge is fully over, then this breaks down. Then just stay up or halfway down. The original tower that was already kicking down. We were too old. Doesn't think
Okay, so this is Pegasus Bridge. We've been here for about an hour. We had a brilliant talk from the guide who told us all about the events of midnight, or just after midnight, on June the 6th, 1944, with the 3 gliders that came in, or the 3 gliders that landed where they should have landed, or even closer than they expected to land. And this is the new Pegasus Bridge, and the old Pegasus Bridge is just over there in the museum, which I've just walked across. So I've walked across the original Pegasus Bridge that took the first bridge, the first part of Europe to be taken on D-Day. Yeah, I feel quite not emotional, but feel quite proud to be walking across the river and the bridge, and to see Café Gondare, which helped the Allies no end in 1944, or during the taking of the bridge, during and after the taking of the bridge, playing host to the British soldiers and providing vital information as to the defences of the area. And that's still owned by the daughter that was 4 years old. So the guide told us on the night that it all unfolded. And this is the other cafe, and this was the guy that was shot. So the owner of that cafe was shot during that night by the Germans, thinking it was British soldiers that were in the windows. Let's walk across here. I never know which way to give way to when I'm crossing. Let's get across safely. And Café Gondare isn't open, but it's just nice to, there we go, we've made it in one piece. It's just nice to come and see it and get a photo. And I always say it's good to hear things, to see things, but also to touch things as well. Now we're heading up next time, I think heading up to a church and a burial ground where some of the guys that didn't survive the battle are buried. So we're doing that next. And that'll do for now. So that's I actually thought that was an original Horsa glider, one of the 3 that landed close to the bridge. But I believe now actually it's a replica, and one of the originals is being rebuilt back in the UK at Salisbury Hall at de Havilland Aircraft Museum. I put the ducks on my video because as I was walking up the path, some American ran away quite chaotically, shouting at me, there's ducks. And he was frightened of them, so I just carried on my merry way through the ducks. But yeah, he wasn't.
Pattern for that stones there. Some of you might have been to Angoville-le-Plain yesterday with the truck with the 2 medics. Saved up the life of the. It's the same kind of layout for the stones there. This steeple, the first bit of it is back onto the left there. that we have military headstones alongside the walls there. And this is where the first British casualties of war were buried. And so you can read onto the headstones, 7th and 6th of June 1944. Some names have been mentioned before, like over there, Lieutenant Dan Brotheridge was killed on the bridge right there from the oxen box. And well, so these are the first casualties buried here under the protection of God. You still to try to protect and find some comfort in the afterlife there. So we are right within the churchyard, the Catholic churchyard, and hopefully these guys are under protection right there.
What if one was Jewish? Would they bury them here too?
Look at the headstones. Can you see Stars of David?
I don't know.
There you go.
Really, you keep looking. Here's one.
There's one, actually.
These ones?
Yeah.
And that's Stars of David.
The Americans landed in Africa. French troops went over to
But most of us did this one. We were commenting on the Catholic rules there, that Jewish soldiers are not to be buried within the Catholic cemetery right down there. Here we have another rule that prevented this private to be buried on the walls, even though it was killed on the 6th of June 1944. Private Courseulles, and you can see that
Yeah, we saw that.
you've heard about that. You'll see here lots of panels explaining lots of stuff written in French and in Norwegian, not in English. You can see the "and" there. Why Norwegian? Well, because we have a ship here. You can read the name over there, the Svanner. Everywhere they've been, like in Croix and everything there, you have these stamps everywhere.
Because that's when they come onto shore, they drop it,
Right.
carry on onto shore, drop the front of it, and they drag themselves back up to
Right. But mostly what they did is that they sent away their merchant navy. They went away. The merchant navy, so the Danes, for example, they completed from 200 ships from the former two fleets there, and proposed the British Navy, if you need to transport stuff across, offshore correctly, we can make an agreement. In total, you have 17 nations. Today, the troops on Omaha Beach, did your guide tell you about here? What do you know about the German troops over there?
Germans at Omaha Beach?
No.
They were the Ukrainians and Poles and...
On Omaha Beach, we have a mix of very good troops and lesser good troops like on Point du Hoc. Here on Courseulles Beach, we have only rubbish quality troops. We have only static troops. You can see as well that very ugly hotel. Right there, this is 1920s Art Deco hotel that is right on the street across from it. And you can see it over there from afar. So you can see from this angle right there, the very same place again. As well, you can see this house on the corner. right there, with a column of British and German soldiers marching back to the beach right there. The other house normally was still standing down there, and you can even see the church where the steeple was taken down eventually during the war. We don't quite know how it happened, but you can see it has been replaced in the 1950s fashion, but it was still standing at the time of the landing right there. And you see a couple of British soldiers posing right in front of these houses right there, with the local ladies. You know, it's the first ladies they've seen in months, so they're all very, very happy. Canadians are facing on D-Day.
Nothing.
What? And indeed you have nothing right there. It's hidden within the walls. Canadians could not anticipate where these bunkers, sand elevation is coming in, so we just see the top of it. So it's good to realize what the Canadians are facing right down here. As well, this picture is very interesting because you can see, as we said, it's still the very same place. It's deactivated. You don't risk anything, but you still have a shell embedded into it.
I've already lost a hand, a finger. I don't want to lose any more today.
That would have a bit of story.
Like 40 millimeters?
Yeah,
37 millimeters?
Yeah, I don't know what it's from. A very small thing. So it's not probably a tank that shot it.
It's more like aircraft.
It's maybe from the landing craft or something like that. You have special weapons that have been equipped onto it for defending purposes. It's one of the shells, at the very least, that caused Tobruk. It's called right. Designed by the Germans in Libya. Tobruk. The first time we saw them. Yeah, quite cleverly made, as we have only the shoulders and the head of the soldier sticking out of it with the machine gun kind of sheltered. Normally you have a door to get into it and under it.
D'abord récupérer les consignes. Les bleus, vous n'êtes pas au-delà de 60. Tous vos sacs à dos.
Do you suppose that those are oil platforms?
À qui est le sac à dos?
And you know who is, well, for the people documenting everything that you can see today? War correspondents, and they're following up the army. And this is the headquarters of the Canadian and British war correspondents in the first moments of the invasion
I can see the mulberries, I think, over there.
Arromanches.
Is that what? Yeah.
That is
Yesterday.
Well,
With the American troops.
that's it. It has been commented by German veterans themselves that Rommel and von Rundstedt hated one another.
Right.
They did not. They were very complimentary. Rommel was very respectful towards von Rundstedt as a senior officer, and von Rundstedt accepted the commands of Rommel. very dark
Very
background.
British humour.
Don't panic! Don't panic! Those couple of drums.
Yeah.
I love it.
Captain Mainwaring.
No.
You can actually see like when the tide comes in and out.
And so ends day 2. The British and Canadian sectors. Brilliant day. Again, thanks to Overlord Tours. Can't thank you enough. And Ollie, absolute star. I think he was my favourite guide of the trip. Absolutely lovely guy. They're all lovely guys. But Ollie was, I think, was my favourite. Yeah, there's all the places I visited. Great day. Again, highly recommended. Learnt loads. Only so much I can put on a video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for day 3. Take care.